Now, government has decided to freeze the salaries of striking polytechnic teachers. This was after the Education Ministry issued a directive to the Comptroller and Accountant General's Department on Friday, ordering them not to pay the August salaries of the striking teachers. The members of POTAG have been on a nationwide strike for 3 months. Now, the teachers are demanding the payment of their research and book allowances. The Education Ministry has severally appealed to POTAG to return to the classroom as the monies will be paid. Now, we're joined on the line by the president of POTAG, and he's in the person of James Dugra. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Now, we also understand that you intend taking government to court. Is that the case?
Yeah, please, some correction before I move on. The appeal that the government made that we should go back to the classroom, they didn't indicate that they were going to pay the money.
But government asked that you have an arbitration. What is the latest on the arbitration with the NLC and government? Well,
surprisingly, when the High Court ordered that we should go back for compulsory arbitration, that was on the 15th. On the 16th, we went. And it is very funny enough to see that when government ordered, the following day they replied, subpoenaing us to the compulsory arbitration. But we wrote a letter notifying them, putting our complaint before the National Labour Commission for over a month. They never replied to that letter. And this is where the crux of the matter, that triggered the strike. You see, if they would have reacted within 7 days to bring the two parties and then, mediate, so that this strike action shouldn't have happened in the first place.
There have been appeals from student bodies and some members of the clergy asking POTAG to return to the classroom. How long or how further do you intend to take this strike?
Well, that is what we have been saying. And when we say it's some of the media houses, they treat what we mean. Whenever there is a light in the tunnel, something will happen to, derail all the effort that we have been making to, getting an end to this, our impasse. You see, so it's not helping the system at all. So we are listening to our students, and I say that I do the profession. Nobody forced me to be a teacher, and I teach with passion. When I see my students, I'm very happy. But this thing is something, it's a bitter pill that we are all swallowing as a teacher, especially where I'm coming from. The characteristics of my students is at my heart. Most of them, we don't have a hostel facility. But the issue is that we are being pressed against the wall. And the matter is just about commitment to pay our book and research allowance. And government position was that they don't owe us, they will not pay. That is where the problem was. And until our students appealed, and we went to the parliamentary select committee, that is where it was disclosed that government said they were going to pay. And they came out with a roadmap, and everybody was happy. So about 3 weeks back, we thought this strike would have been a thing of the past. So we brought a proposal to, we didn't bring it, they sent it. When we went, they read the thing to us. Even our sister association, that's UTAG, was not part of that meeting, but they also agreed because we are all beneficiaries of the book and research allowance. They agreed. Then the deputy minister said he was not going to work with the proposal from government. And he brought another proposal, and the phrase there that agreed to reopen discussions on the National Research Fund. And we said, we are not discussing. And who agreed? Let us decouple that one and work a roadmap towards the payment of the National Research, the book and research. Because first you say you won't pay, you don't owe us. Now you agree, you pay, you owe us, fine. It is a very good will from the government side. But then let us then sit down and then we take a roadmap, we decouple it from the National Research Fund. So that next year, because the National Research Fund has an adverse effect on our conditions of service. So if we review our conditions of service and we remove some elements which the National Research Fund is coming to threaten, then we ladder into the National Research Fund and we all sit at the round table to discuss it. Master, as we speak now, we don't know the modalities on that, who is qualified to apply, how much is the steel, where is the secretariat and all that. And you want to just take our book and research and go and replace it with the National Research Fund. And the funny issue is our money is in two tranches, research and book. So if you want to establish research fund, why do you then add that of the book? to the research. So that is where we have the problem. And we think that it's a very simple matter. If National Labour Commission had not dragged us to court, I don't think this case would have traveled this far. And I tell you, my brother, there were some time we even went to the court and they were nowhere to be found. So prolonging the matter.
But Mr. Dugra, there are sections of the public that are arguing that your salaries are being paid, and this is book and research allowance. Government has been at least consistent with paying your salaries. How? What role does the book and research allowance play exactly in your teaching, and why can't you go back to the classroom while negotiations are ongoing?
No, in the first place, if government had agreed that, oh, we owe you, and they would have been very frank that, oh, we owe you, but we don't have the money now, I don't think it would be reasonable for us to go on strike. But the stand was that they don't owe us, they won't pay. That was the problem. We're going to replace it unilaterally with the National Research Fund. That was where the problem was. And coming to our salary issue, you know, teaching is just a product of our work. And as are now, deans, head of departments, industrial attachment supervisors are on the field. Deans still go to work. Convocation goes on, graduation ceremonies go on, lecturers attend all these things. And we are also supervising our long-essay students. So if they say they are not going to pay, I don't know how they are going to compensate that aspect of our job. Because we render about 21 functions to the Polytechnic. So if we withdraw 2 and the 19 are going on, and you say you will pay them, well, when we reach there, maybe we will look at the situation on the ground. We are not happy about this feet dragging and then law issues, court issues. You know, when you go to the court, the good judge will try to read very deep and then come out with a ruling which will be very fair to everybody. And all these things, now we were thinking that labor issue, we shouldn't have sent it to the court in the first place. But we were dragged to court by the National Labour Commission.
All right.
I think didn't do well for the system.
All right. Mr. James Dugra, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate the interview.